What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Underdog Reacts and I watched American Psycho 2, All American Girl. Damn. Now I recognize her, jeez. As main, with tagline, angrier, deadlier, sexier. Ooh. Yeah, I saw the poster, when I looked up the movie to watch, this morning. And also when I looked it up before, when I found out that there was a sequel. But I didn't recognize her. But now that I've seen the movie, I thought, yeah, it's obviously her. But why didn't I recognize her? Because I recognized her by voice. It is Mila Kunis. She plays the main lead. She's the main character of the movie. Sorry. But she's also on the poster. But I didn't recognize her on the poster. I recognized her by voice in the movie. So stupid for me. But let's just start with the movie, shall we? A fridge is being opened, and in there we see a head of a woman. But next to that head is laying those eye masks, that you put for sleeping. A sleeping mask, or whatever you call it. But it's laying next to that head. And we see an arm, reaching in, grabbing, the sleeping mask. And the camera goes to the left. And we see an already prepared table, with plates and cutlery. And we see two people sitting at both ends of the table. And this end, the close to the camera, is a bit of a younger girl. I don't know how old she is, maybe 12 or something, 13. I don't know. It's hard, it's hard to age, to guess the age of. For me, it's hard to guess the age of people like that. For people under. I pre-teens. I don't know how old they are. I can't guess their age. I know they're young. But I don't know how old they are. That sounds very weird. But so it's hard for me to guess in movies. That person is that boy is 8 years old. I don't know. I don't have kids myself, so I don't know. Anyway, so and at the other end is a bit of bit older, not old, but I mean, young lady, she's not a girl, but it's a young lady. And we see the person, that was grabbing, that sleeping mask, at the drawer, he pulls it open and puts on some yellow gloves, then shuts it and walks to a tray with appliances. One of them is a kind of plier, and it was not Markiplier. No, it's those that you can cut wires with. Those things. I don't know how you call those. But that. And then it's walking. The person is walking to the young lady, and we can see the girl in the shot, and her mouth is taped. So what does she do? She her hands are bound, with tape, so she wiggles them loose. They're not at the side, but at the back. So she wiggles them loose. Loose the tape. Get get free, and picks an ice pick. Looks at the young lady and then stabs, which was apparently Patrick Bateman. But we can't leave it at that, because if you want to know what's going to happen next, watch the movie yourself. Before we continue, thank you very much for subscribing number 58 and 85 and 86. Jesus Christ, how hard was that? So, thank you for subscribing number 85 and 86. Calling by your name, Claude, Claude, as number 85, and Kevin Faust as number 86. Thank you very, very much for subscribing. It really means a lot. With you guys, getting closer to my next goal of 100 subscribers. We're almost there. It's in reach, but we'll get there eventually. We're not in a hurry. But thanks very much for subscribing. For because I make shitty reviews and from time to time, you have to try not to laugh, or some electric cowboy on the channel, or which I still have to film, some mangas. I still have 6 videos or something like that to make, because obviously I'm still reading them. So, but back to the movie. I guess that it was Mila Kunis, not by poster but by voice one, because we heard also then I thought a girl narrate, but it was Mila Kunis who was narrating. We also have William Shatner in the movie, who plays a Professor Robert Starkman, and him I recognized by face. But when I heard the narration, and then is that Mila Kunis, and then we saw her, I was right. That was pretty nice. The movie itself was a good movie, And she Rachel Newman, which the name she goes by, which is not her actual name. We don't know what her actual name is, what her real name is, but she goes by Rachel. So Rachel Newman, she went with a boy, and with a guy, then college. So she went with a guy, and she asked him if he had some, as in if he had a condom, and he said no. And then the face that she made, like every guy wears always a condom with him, always carries a condom with him. No, we don't. Well, I definitely don't wear every day, all day, every day a condom with me. Why would I? I'm not that attractive. But just, why the fuck would you have a condom on you all day, every day, I don't. But yeah. Overall, this movie was a good movie. It gets a 4 out of 5. It was not as good as the last movie, which I also want to talk a bit about still. The dance scene from the last movie. I watched the Cinebinge reaction to that movie this morning or yesterday, and that made me they showed that dance scene. Oh yeah, the dance scene. I want to talk about the dance scene too. But it was all dance like that. Really funny. Go watch my review for American Psycho, just the first movie, or my normal Psycho, reviews, which I have the whole franchise. There's a playlist for that. But this movie, 4 out of 5. Watch the movie yourself. Leave likes. Recommend good. Killer movie down below in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to my second channel on the Eats where I do food streams every week. Also from time to time hot sauce and alcohol on my third channel Underdog Reacts where I do primarily music. Link down below in the description, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.